Hey there and welcome back though. Welcome back to SnowRunner and early morning here in the Cosmodrome in Amur, Russia. Off we go though. We are going to explore a little bit further though. We are just right here, new on the region, and as you can see we have plenty to unlock though. It's going to be great. Hopefully, of course, you know, we do find something nice like upgrades and maybe even get a little bit lucky with a new truck or a new scout. Because so far we did not get any though on this region. And that is Amur, that is. Strategic reserve. Boom. Of course we are going to collect every mission out there. Oh my, oh my. What are the people doing here, by the way, for entertainment? I kind of wonder though, right? You know, I'm sure it's going to be super difficult though. And yeah. I hope they have a little bit of internet at least though. You know what I mean though? But I highly doubt that. And then again, there is so much to do in places like this. You know, like making things from wood and all. You know, it might seem dull to a lot of people, but it's actually pretty entertaining though. It's kind of, also let's say, it's kind of like a meditation though, if you do keep going. You know what I mean? Unlucky lineman. We did also accept. Beautiful. But yeah, it's really pretty awesome though, you know, a simple life. Okay, we do have a loading platform, even metal beams though. Unlimited? No way. Oversized cargo. Bricks. Only the bricks are limited though. Okay, not bad at all. What do we have around here? Let's see. Over here we have to drop something. Yeah. Lots of crows showing up though. I'm not so sure about that. Often that indicates, you know, like a place of interest so far that I've been aware of. Picturesque. Oh, hey there back. Let's go. Alright, so this little town is nicely surveyed for us. Oh, look at that playground though. A little Soviet rocket over there. Oh, will there be a cosmonaut? Oh, you know what's an interesting thing though, right? You know, like Peggy is Eastern European, I'm Western European, and she calls them cosmonauts, and I call them astronauts, right? And it's kind of interesting though, like the conversation just flows, but we just use our own terminology though, right? You know, isn't that awesome? And I'm sure whenever we ever go and immigrate to America or to Canada, because we really do like it over there, you know, like all that extra nature that we are having, and a little bit of extra freedom in certain ways, a little bit less in other ways, you know, like, yeah, it's on our plan, in other words, right? It's something that we have been planning and looking at, and let's just see how life goes first, right, you know? But the thing though is, I'm sure she will keep calling it cosmonaut, even in the heart of the capitalistic world, right, you know, America. Fun fact, by the way, right? You know, during the Soviet era, American agents like CIA, FBI, etc. caught Russian spies by the way how they did hold the flowers for their ladies. Isn't that interesting? Because in Eastern Europe, you do hold the flowers upside down, and in the West, you actually hold the flowers the normal way. You know, like flowers up. It's an interesting little detail though. Think about it, alright, you know, because it is exactly extremely funny though, isn't it? It really is funny. Alright, maintaining a church is an honest and tough work, especially without any materials. Very true. What do you need, father? Wooden planks. Not so bad, not so bad. Alright. You know what? I'm going to take that bridge mission right over there directly. Because you know me, right? We always do instantly the bridges first, you know, and the landslides and everything in between. It is my top priority. But the thing though is, right, you know, it's also very difficult to get here and there, but we do need the metal beams and all to actually start getting rid of the landslide, and we do need some other items. And so far we don't know where we get the wood from. Because in the last episode, or the one before, we did actually... What do you actually need right over here? Let's see. Wooden planks 3 times. Okay, simple. Very simple. It is one hull with the twin steer for the church and the and the bridges for the 3 slots. Total 5. That's a nice win. But yeah, you know, like we did get extra long logs for the sawmill, so we can have that. That is not going to be a difficult task though. What is going to be difficult is getting the 3 metal beams from here all the way back over there. And it might be less difficult though, right? Because this is not very hard terrain to travel through, but still. And the fuel over here, if we had a normal scout, we could actually go right over here right now. So yeah, that is that. That is that, indeed. Now we are going to go a little bit south down here to see what we have at the farm. So we are going to go right towards this point. Alright, here we are though at the beautiful crossroads. Always look left, because you ignore the right. Let's just keep on moving. Alright, you know, let's... oh man, you know, like the Amur so far, I have to say fun for me personally. It's a 11 out of 10, alright? It is really one of my favorite maps though. But also in frustration though, like how deep you are getting sunk in and how long everything takes. It is around, well, this is not a positive score, right? You know, that's also an 8 out of 10. But my fun from that is an 11 out of 10 though. So, you know, like, yeah, it just feels like a real survival map. You know what I mean though? And not just a checklist. And I really appreciate that though. I really, really do. Now I kind of wish though the map was a little bit more green. So we had a little bit of a, I don't know, a little bit of a diverse palette though for the eyes, right? You know, but in general, man, this is absolutely fantastic. And I believe it is one of the most hated maps out there though because of the difficulty. Oh no. I forgot to go actually over there to the Stargazer. We have to go all the way back to the Stargazer though. Well, you know what? I'm not going to do that right now with this truck, but we are going to go towards the AVENHORN. Stop the engine. Right over here. I just keep on going because, man, I totally forgot about that new truck. I was hyped and everything and then totally forgot about it. Oi, 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 oi. Come on, since when do we take that much damage from this little bump though? Even from standing still. Well, tire pressure, right? You know, maybe. Yeah, this was my mountain scout, believe it or not. Powerful enough though to move along though. And we had to rescue the Tetrarch anyway, so it was a good call to actually use this one. Oh yeah. Now that's the town indeed. Then we have to go a little bit to the right from there. Alright, yeah, so we already are planning everything as you can see. Now down here is actually a tunnel, right? You know, from the railway. In my experience though, there's always something close to a tunnel, so we have to keep our eyes open. Do we even fit through here though? I mean, ooh, might be easy not to. That means this entire trip was not completely for nothing though. But remember, we have to bring fuel up here too. So, and those are those cans of fuel, not just what we are carrying ourselves right now. So, you know, it might be a little bit tricky. And we have to do that with a scout. And the church does has a scout with fuel on it, right? A scout trailer. So that's kind of cool. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is a master driving though. But we do need probably a jar though. Jar 87 for this task. Because if we are going to do anything like the Tetrarch, we will not get up there. Chain tires for the win, in other words, right? Oh, damage is solid though, but I mean, if it goes a little bit further, yeah, then it's an issue. Then it's going to be an issue, especially the suspension. Oh, I was kind of hoping that right here to the left of our rocks, as you can see, it kind of looks like a secret little place or something, will be An upgrade or something. Yeah, that's the trailer right over there. Let's also check that trailer out just to be sure. Maybe we can use it, right? Maybe it's going to be very important. Just put her in low gear plus, so we don't slow down the whole time. Yeah, this is actually one of the issues though, right? Think about it. With the map itself. We are kind of forced to actually have used changed tires. But if we are now going through the deep mud, yeah, it's a big no. We can climb out though, but there's nothing in between right now. All the other maps, you really had specialized setups and the entire map was okay. Here, you're right, not on one side of the coin though, right? You're right in the middle. Like you're flipping a coin, it lands on the table and it's just right on the middle, on its center up. Very unique. Very special. But you still don't get your answer if it's heads or tails, right? Oh. What is that? A tractor. Look at that though, huh? Okay, that's funny, man. I love that. Oh, so typical, ain't it? The farmer didn't go in time though, huh? No, did he? He didn't leave in time. The season changed and he got bogged down and someone stole his front wheels. Not good. Difficult task though. Difficult task indeed. We cannot go below the bridge. We cannot drop off like that. Well, we can though, but should we? Now we're just going to take the back side though, don't we? On the back road over here. No, I kind of have a feeling like we cannot go through the forest though. So let's go tippy-toe right around the shore here. Ooh, there's a big boulder right in between that too. All right, I do see. Oh, don't tell me now. Don't tell me now that we have to do something else, right, you know? Because I have a feeling like we have to get our scout back. Well, that's actually okay, because we kind of want to have our truck close by anyways, right, you know, as a reload station. Yeah, we are kind of pre-planning though. My oh my. If we get stuck with this big boy though, can I have to drive all the way back and all? There we go. Yeah, gotta be careful of the bounds. Difficult to calculate that into a steering pattern. Alright, let's move up. Straight forward, keep turning. Are we even taking the right one though? Oh yeah, definitely not. Wait a minute, do you want us to go over there? No way, Jose though, right? You know, no way. Man, I love my winches. For real, they want us to go up there. Alright, lots easier though than the mountain and the forest ahead of us. I can tell you that. Alright, this is going to take a lot of power though. Maybe we do need to winch, maybe not, but I think we are fine, yeah. Wow. What a unit though, huh? What a unit. Had a feeling though, had a feeling. Can you imagine though being like this in real life with this type of truck? I mean, with a Jeep Rubicon for real though, easy mode, right? Well, not easy mode, but you know, we could do it. We could do it. But anything else? Oh my, I mean, it is something else though. We must have had the best insurance ever or the fattest bank account ever though to actually try this even. Why to even come close to it? Now, what are we having there? Oh, yeah. Told you guys. Oh. Do you hear the radiation? I'm turning into a good... Wait a minute. Okay, so we have rocket parts over there. But do we also have a part of a UFO? You gotta be kidding me. We have seen that UFO flying around, though. That's kind of funny. Now, what do we have here? They say something fell not far from here before the Cosmodrome was built. Whatever it was, it's not there anymore. But looks like they have left the truck behind. Probably unusable. We still better check. The ZiKZ 605R. Okay, well, we can repair it a little bit, though. Oh, wrong button, though. Come on. Refuel. Nice. It's not leaking, apparently. Oh, man. I wish I had my special container with me on this truck, though. Because, man, that ZiKZ looks like fun. Oh, that really looks like fun. By the way, we ought to get away from here, though. The radiation is very bad. And that means if the radiation is already ticking on our Geiger counter right now, that ZiKZ is radioactive. There's no doubt about that. Now we are going to go here in a second though with some repair tools with a different truck. It's going to be a lot of fun. But my oh my oh my oh my. It is something else, ain't it? Why do I have a feeling like there might be something over here? Oh no, I see what the story is. Do you see that? Like something fell from the sky, it crashed in here, made this, and then it landed there. Very interesting though, very cool. Nice world telling though by the world map itself. Very cool, very cool. A lost art though in a lot of games these days. These days though, huh? We are lucky that a game even sticks for a couple of hours longer than that we normally are used to. We still gotta get here though with the nice little scout, but to be fair with you though, we could just drag that thing around though, but nah, thanks. We are going to go with a scout though, but right now all I want is to get that beautiful truck over yonder. It's not the best looking one though. I mean, I'm sure the modder pumped out a better truck one day, but hoo-wee, I want it though, right? You know, I want that truck. I'm sure we can put a nice lick of paint over it though, and it looks a whole lot better though. That's sometimes what you do need, right? You know, just to wear something different or do something with the hair, and then you know the truck is all right to go. There you go. Beautiful, is it not? I mean, I kind of feel like one of those competitions though between trucks where you have to actually go up and down slopes like this. It's very popular in Europe. I believe it's mostly done in Hungary though. I believe so. Especially with Tatra trucks and Mercedes-Benz. It's very cool to see, by the way. You can see that on YouTube, by the way. So if you do like this content, check that out too. But don't do it right now. Of course, finish this video. There we go. I really want to investigate, though, the little slope where that UFO, or actually, we are not 100% certain if it is a UFO, though, but there's a top of the UFO there that leaks radiation. Can you imagine we're just getting stuck here? That will be something else though. Easy fix if we can reach that. Hmm? Come on. I'll drive a little bit backwards though, seeing if we can do that. It will be pretty decent. Nice. And just raw dogging it though, yeah. Alright, awesome. Look at that, it's so close though, huh? If it is anything like this ZiKZ, then I'm a happy man. But as you can see though, it is definitely a UFO. It definitely is though, ain't it? Repair the ZiKZ 605R. There we go. Nice. Wait, okay, we can keep it too though. Sometimes we just repair a truck and we cannot. No, that's one beast of a truck. Something tells me the previous owner aren't looking for it anymore, so we might as well put it to good use. I mean, sure thing though, sure thing. But the thing about it is though, that worries me a little bit, is that it is radioactive. For real. Now, I kind of want to be a little bit crazy here to see if we actually, you know, take damage. And we do not take personal damage though, but we do take damage by the truck maybe. Nah. Oh yeah. Oh. It definitely is a UFO mixed with a rocket. So maybe they did actually collide together. Maybe. Anyways, let's get out of here. Man, that is a cool looking truck though, ain't it? I do appreciate it big time. Stop the engine, change the truck. Man. Yeah. Oh, the engine alone. Oh yeah, typical military design. I do appreciate this for real though. Oh, very cool though, very cool. Not sure what that is for. Do you hear that though? It's a very quiet truck too for probably a very powerful one, if it is anything like the other. I do like that it is much smaller, or shorter actually, right? Feels quicker. It really does. I do love the suspension, by the way. Look at that. The suspension is really good though. The axis is kind of protected, which is really, really awesome. Well, not kind of. It really is heavily protected though, because it's up and not low. Alright. Awesome dual suspension, also connected together. I really do appreciate it. Let's put it into the garage for a second. Oh my, oh my, oh my. We have the best setup ever though. We have the best engine. It is an S plus tier or A plus tier. Alright, misread that one. We have the heavy duty Wences. We do have the standard ZiKZ tires, which are top tier, by the way. And we do have the advanced special gearbox. Now, we want to pick up the metal beams though from the town, so we can unlock another part of the of the map, right? You know, and just traverse it a little bit better. And you know, it opens up doors for better planning, better routing, better transporting though, right? You know, we have to plan our logistics rather well. But right now, I have to say though, so far, absolutely fantastic little truck. Just like the ZiKZ. Kind of feels a little bit more powerful though than the ZiKZ itself. It's a little bit more traversable too. Oh yeah. Alright, but it could also be, right, you know, because we do not have a lot of weight right now on it, right? We do not haul any cargo or anything like that, so keep that in mind. Is it tip heavy? Not at all. Now, how does it traverse here? Because I have a little bit of experience to traverse things right over here. It's not the best route though, we could just go like, whoop. Maybe that will be a little bit better. But yeah, I don't know. It really feels like an extremely promising truck. The issue I already do see though is that the flatbed like this limits or connectabilities with trailers though. As you can see, it is sticking rather out. So we do have to get normal trailer, one might say. Right, you know, like saddle low or saddle high. It depends what we want. But I think a saddle low might actually do wonders on this little guy. I'm not a big fan of it technically though, but this truck is very, very promising though. Will it retire the ZiKZ 612? I don't know. But so far the ZiKZ 605 is an absolute beauty to drive. It is very reactive. It is not tip heavy, no matter how hard I push it right over here. And this is a real challenge too. It's not very deep ice though, I do admit, but you do feel the difference between trucks here also, so I don't know. It really does feel like a hauler. That's all we care about now, don't we? So far though, this is not a miracle truck, of course, you know, where we just waltz right through anything it's been thrown at. But I have to say though, it is a smooth drive though, and that is all I do care about. I do not care about the speed or the capabilities of a certain truck. It has to feel smooth. The speed is a big bonus, I can tell you. It really is a big bonus. Well, not just that though. But we also have to think about the capabilities, right? Because a certain truck has to do certain things. And sometimes you have a match made in heaven. Sometimes you're pleasantly surprised by very old trucks. Like the White Western Star that we did unlock in Michigan. That we used in the Yukon and other places again though, right? You know, it is absolutely a fantastic little truck though, right? You know, but the thing though is, this, I already do realize this is going to be one of my favorites because it's very maneuverable. Now this is a very tough little thing right over here because the other ZiKZ has an issue and this one does not. Okay. Alright. Okay. So we are like now, you know those little insects that are just skimming all over the water? You know, just flying over it. Yeah, I feel like that right now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now we are right here in town. A perfect place to start in the next episode though. So by that, I also want to thank you very, very much though for being part of our journey. And I hope I will see you in the next one too. Stay happy, stay healthy. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful time. And take good care of your beloved ones, alright? Bye bye.